Greetings, my friends. I have drawn close. I have come this night to share great truths. I am Ekara. I am of the Lemurian bloodline. And I have been asked by your Ascended Master friends, I have been asked by those that you have communicated with, to come and talk with you this night on this subject that you have been evaluating, the consciousness. For understand the very underlying factor of Lemuria was indeed the consciousness of all. The conscious connection within the community, the conscious connection within Gaia and the community, the conscious connection the community had with the cosmos. The understanding that you cannot have true connection without the consciousness of being. And so I come tonight to bring a vantage view that perhaps has not been looked at, perhaps has not been viewed. For consciousness is more than just breathing and meditating and allowing to come into your awareness, into your immediate circumstance. It must be second nature. It must be what you are born into, in a manner of speaking. Every being that is upon this planet that has connection to the Lemurian bloodline, the Lemurian landmass, to move, has this connection, has this consciousness that is deep within their cellular, deep within the very molecular structure of all that is their physicality. You would not be in this position of knowledge, and you would not be hearing this message or any of the messages of the conscious movement in your arena if you were not open, if you were not ready to acknowledge that life without consciousness is nothing more than a sack of bones being carried around by a force that is stronger than it. Why do I put it this way? Because bones are a support system. They create, as you know, within the human body, the skeletal. The bag with which they are contained in is your skin. And you are the force that carries it around. But it is up to you, dear ones, whether you want that to stink, whether you want that bag of bones to be rotting as you carry it around. And this is what is occurring with many humans who are unconscious, who are unconnected to this conscious link of being, awareness, of understanding the very fabric of the connection, of the cosmic Gaia connection. Your earth is of such vibration that she is able to bypass your mind, your mental arena, connect into the very structural vibration of your consciousness, this conscious beingness that you have been spoken of. This living energy of consciousness. She is this living being of consciousness that lives aside you. Dear ones, you must be connected. You must be aware, alert even, of the vibrational changes, of the different layers and levels of consciousness that surround you. For understand that there are many levels of consciousness, many layers, many connectivities of consciousness. Where do they pertain from? Where do they come into? How are they related to you? Are they related to you? Or are they distractions? Are they perhaps even to pull you from what your journey of conscious beingness is to come into conclusion to? See, dear ones, back when I sat upon the fiery pits of Lemuria, watching and observing how Gaia would burn, how Gaia would consume what was placed within her with intent, with purpose. I learned many things. I learned that I could draw close to the flame of Gaia. If I placed a consciousness around myself, if I placed an intent of connection with her, of purity of heart, there would be no singeing, no burning. And yet, in the very next breath, I could remove that intent, I could remove that conscious connection and suffer intense pain as I placed my hand in exactly the same position with the heat and the flame. You must be aware, mature, in recognizing that you are on a journey that has many avenues, many doorways, many gateways that tantalize and entice you, telling you that this way is but better, and this way is but sweeter, and this way is but more intelligent, and this way is but more whatever. And life has not changed in the millennia that have been passing from my, shall we say, my death of physicality to your life of living at this moment. The same stories are being told by the connections of varied consciousnesses that are there to pull you into an assumed conscious way of being, which is unconscious, which is a bag of bones rotting on the sideline. Now, why do I give you this vivid and perhaps putrid image? Because, dear ones, this is how serious it can be. I am, many of those that have heard my voice and my teachings, a wise Lemurian teacher. And I thank them for this acknowledgement. But my wisdom comes from experience. My wisdom comes from connection into the Gaia. My knowledge comes from learning at the feet of those that have gone before me. And the bag of bones that I carried was a distraction to me too, until I learnt that in consciousness, in awareness of being, of connecting through the layers of the cosmic knowing and the Gaia connection to the living energy of consciousness that surrounds me, which is the Gaia consciousness, which is the cosmic consciousness. This is the doorway that I found to penetrate into the beingness of conscious awareness that would allow me to transcend the very, and I say this with inverted commas, the very human life I lived, or the Lemurian life I lived. In many ways, I had a stronger intent through the Palladian connection that was closer to the original status of being than perhaps it is in some humans of today's world. But that intent, that connection is still as strong, just dormant. And it is up to you, dear ones, to awaken this dormant strand within yourselves. Your friends, the one known as Safita, the one known as Kuthumi, and the others that have spoken to you, the Palladian known as Platorans, have brought to you various clues, various attributes, methodologies, to activate, to bring closer into your beingness this consciousness, this awareness, this lifestyle, this way of life. And it is indeed, dear ones, fellow Lemurians, it is a way of life that is all-consuming. It is like a fire that burns within you, like the Gaia fire that is eternal. This is this consciousness, sacred fire that burns, consuming all that it comes into connection. And if you think of consciousness as an all-consuming fire, dear ones, you begin to understand the intensity and the power, the strength and the connectivity of conscious being. It's not just something that you sit and quietly study and meditate. It is indeed a way of being that should allow you to sit and exude the very energy of consciousness from your very skin, the pores of your Lemurian hide. Understand that you are not mere humanoids. You have within yourself the very DNA structure of your Palladian families, of your Arcturan families. And it is this, that when you connect to this cosmic lineage, and you connect to the lineage of Gaia, you will begin to feel the heartbeat of the conscious being energy that is around you, that is you, that is Gaia, that is the cosmic. And the energy of all that is, the physicality of your humanness, is indeed at the point where it is almost combustible. The energy that your consciousness will create within you will burn the dross from within, will create within you such a heightened awareness of what it is truly to be conscious in thought and word and action and outworking of philosophy. And every time you open the mouth to speak, the fire will burn your lips before you speak, to ensure that what you are about to speak is truth, balanced, equal, vibrant, life-giving, energetic, conscious, creative, frequency-based, structured communication. In this setting, I ask that you would begin to connect to that which is the core energy fluctuations of Gaia, allowing her to bring you to this awareness, this feeling of connectivity that only she can bring you. There is no breath, no exercise, no mantra that I can give you that will connect you to her. She will connect to you in the unique way that she does. Like the prints upon your fingers, so is her connection to each of you. Different, unique. Singularity is her identification. Yet the singularity of her connection and identification is the key to unlocking the commonality of consciousness. Because if you all realize that in your individuality you are connected with the mother who has fed you from her breasts, has warmed you by her fires, and consciously brought you into this place of being that you may vibrate and feel within yourself the frequency of change. That the energy that you are connecting to is earth and cosmic. Then you will understand that you are all placing in yourselves at this moment the common ground. And in the commonality is strength, because as you begin to connect in the commonality, you vibrate stronger. Your connection of consciousness is indeed deeper and more thorough, and you are able to connect as beings of consciousness for great moments of creation, for healing, for communication, for enhancement, for validation, for love, for peace, for everything. As you then extend this consciousness, this awareness, this beingness upward into the cosmic connection, the ripples of this begin to extend not just upon your planetary system, but outward to all. There is no end when a ripple begins. It must continue, wider and wider. So what intent do you put on the ripple of conscious beings? What do you allow to spin out from your energy of conscious beingness to the rest of the world of cosmic awareness, cosmic beingness? Lemuria was a small nation in comparison to what you have of your planetary earth-based nations at this moment. And yet we were mighty. We were perhaps the most gifted of Gaia's people. Because our consciousness and our conscious connection with her and with the cosmos allowed us to travel beyond our borders into the borders of other places and beings with ease and grace. And yet you are so wise. You who are so clever in the creations that you have created within your human species still do not know how to connect consciously to a ley line and allow it to take you through dimensions, both physical and energetic. And allow yourself to connect in a physical manner at a destination. I do not say this as a judgment. I say this as a challenge. Because consciousness, dear ones, is a doorway, a portal to great potential. How you use the potential is indeed your choice, your journey. As my time as a living being in Lemuria, I, Ekara, studied. And I mastered many things. But the one that I will always be gratefully humbled by is the mastery I was taught of my consciousness. You must have mastery over your consciousness. Because understand this, dear ones. Just as you would blow your plastic expandable containers with the gas that you call helium, so is your consciousness. It can expand and expand and expand and expand as high and as wide as you allow it to, and can eventually fly away from you, because you become light-headed. You must have awareness, mastery, connectivity, mastery. You must know your limitations, your infiniteness, and your finiteness. And the reason I say your limitations is not because I wish to create within you a sense of smallness. But if you realize that day one you can go 4 steps, that is your limit. Day 5 you can go 10 steps, that is your limit. Day 3956 you can go 20,000 steps. Do you see? Your mastery grows. The more you connect, the more you allow yourself to be aware of all the connectivities. I made reference to the layers of consciousness. This is something you must be aware. Aware of the fact that there are, just as the dimensions that you travel and you connect to in your everyday journey of life, so are there many layers of consciousness. What are these layers of consciousness? They are the consciousnesses of time, consciousnesses of cosmic lives, human lives, time folding, variances of experience. Each experience that humanity goes through creates a conscious layer, which is why you have many times a thick covering over the human consciousness, mass consciousness. You think you break through only to be confronted with something else. You break through that to be confronted with something else. And you think, humanity will never learn. But what you must realize, dear ones, is that you are going through multiple layers of consciousness. Dead consciousness. That gives a very good imitation of being alive. It is your awareness of the conscious beingness inside of yourself that will direct you and guide you of what to connect to and what you can watch drift away from you. Remember, I reiterate a statement that was given to you many years ago. Not everything is here for you to connect to. Not everything you are coming into awareness of is for you to deal with. Sometimes it is there for you to acknowledge and watch as it passes you by on its journey of transmutation, of its journey of experience. The layers of consciousness that are here upon this planetary system are strong because humanity has compounded and strengthened these layers through the belief systems and the control systems that have been in place over the millennia. But your system, your awareness of consciousness, of being in consciousness, of breathing consciously, speaking consciously, thinking consciously, illuminating your energy consciously, your communication being done in consciousness, your writing being done in consciousness. Everything has a conscious equation next to it. You may feel that this is a little over the top for humanity. Really? If Mu and her occupants had been as conscious as what we were taught, perhaps Mu would still be here. Perhaps you would have the privilege of knowing the Lemurians as I. Am I saying that their lack of consciousness on every aspect is the reason why Mu sunk? No, I'm not saying that. My beloved Mu sunk for a higher purpose, a higher good. But perhaps the higher good could have been achieved in a different way. That is all I am saying. Fire is all-consuming. The sacredness of consciousness, of conscious being, conscious awareness, conscious understanding, conscious speech, the sacredness of a conscious being is like an all-consuming fire. It does not burn, does not die, does not kill and destroy. It consumes, yes, it consumes that which is unnecessary. But in that sacredness, it establishes, brings into being, it strengthens, and it begins to fine-tune your ears of spirituality that hear the breath of the conscious living being that is beside you. That is you. That is Gaia. That is the cosmic. That is totally in you and yet separate from you. You are woven like a piece of material of high quality into the consciousness of the cosmic way of life. If you were not, then you would not have the connections of the cosmic families that you do. Do you think that your journeys thus far have been perchance by accident? Perchance just because it's an experience? No. No matter how long in earth timing or how short in earth timing your journeys have been, your lives have been intertwined at a great cost. And I use this word to bring to your humanness an understanding. Cost to the cosmic. Cost to the universe. To the source connection. What is this cost, you may ask? The cost is love. The cost is compassion. The cost is commitment. The cost is agreement. Desire. To see you fully expanded, consciously aware, standing in your strengths, your wisdoms, your multiple duplicities of bodies. Not duplicity as in falsehoods, but your multiple bodies of energy, of physicality, upon the dimensional realms. So that as you begin your journeys afresh, invigorated, this creates a chain reaction throughout the cosmic plateaus, allowing all other fragments of your existence to begin their conscious growth. Are you the key to all other parts of yourselves becoming this conscious being connection? That is for you to decide. That is for you to become aware of. To become so centrally focused on who and what you are that the expansiveness around you is a simultaneous effect. This is not difficult to understand, dear ones, for you can only go to the furthermost parts of your expansion as you are willing to go to the furthermost parts of your inner knowing. Because the further inward you go, you will find that you are out to the furthest expansions of knowledge. You are like the Mobius strip, forever turning in and out, but never upside down, never the wrong way round. And the more you continue to allow yourself to connect to the consciousness, that golden cord of purity that is bound and woven with the pure white thought of consciousness, you will begin to see a patterning arriving in your life. Dear ones, even you will be hard put to make an excuse, to make an explanation. Do not look for signs. Do not look for outward things to bring you confirmation of what is occurring in your conscious awareness, in your conscious being. Yes, there are many things that will occur within your sphere, within your immediate circle, that will connect you to various parts of your awareness, to awaken you, to open up doors, windows, passageways into your journey's path. But it is not a given that it will happen all the time or to each and every individual that goes on their journey. To be intertwined with the elementals in the most intimate of connections is to breathe in their conscious awareness as they breathe in yours. And the sharing of minds, visions, heart, this is consciousness. Where you do not see the separation, but the oneness. Yet within the oneness there is the unspoken agreement of the individuality, blended for that moment to completeness. Allowing you the grace, the compassion, the experience to be totally, unadulteratedly connected, pivotedly woven, the greater tapestry of life, cosmic connection, and yet retain your individuality, that you may step out at any time to experience singularity. Never losing your empowerment, but always enhancing your gifts. Consciousness, dear ones, is more than just a once or twice a day thing. It is from the moment you sleep till the moment you sleep. It is from the moment you waken to the moment you waken. It is hearing and seeing, speaking, tasting, touching, knowing, experiencing, thinking. It is everything that pertains to your individuality. It is feeling the fire that comes in through the sacred connection and feeling it burn within your belly, burn within your chest, consuming the unnecessary add-ons, the unnecessary parts, and transmuting you into the conscious being that you desire to be, and releasing you like the vapor of argon, heavy and yet densely populating this entire planet. Every breath that is taken has the argon. Every breath that is expelled has the argon. And it is aware that it was there before you were even considered a possibility of the aspect of the one that originated in the beginning. Now do you understand that to be conscious, you must understand that consciousness is born before you were in an existence of a thought, of an aspect, of a particle. And consciousness will continue into the eternities of eternity. You are part of this journey. Consciousness, my friends, is the sweetest journey to take. I am Ekara. I am of the Lemurian line. I am your teacher. Listen to that which is being shared and retain the knowledge that has been given. I am Ekara. Be in peace.